So let me tell you something interesting. It has become a ritual for the past 4 or 5 videos that whenever I start shooting something or any kind of tutorial, the weather gets gloomy outside, it starts raining, the downpour is playing a spoil sport, and so let's cut the crap, grab some coffee, and let the intro roll. What is up everyone, Pursuit of Shutter here, and so good to have you back to yet another tutorial. And just in case you are watching this, I hope that you are safe and you are doing good. So today I am going to take this photo right here and turn it to something like this. So today I am going to talk about curves. I know the word curves can freak you out a lot. You have watched a whole lot of video on YouTube and yeah, they are pretty complicated, it seems to be, but then again, you have heard of the S-curve. We will use that. We will use that instead of the master channel to every single channels like red, blue and green primary channels and make the magic happen right there. So let's just jump into your preferred photo editing software like Photoshop, Lightroom Mobile or whatever you use. They all pretty much do the same and they are pretty much capable of doing the same. So, and more importantly, you can use this technique, this particular technique to almost any kind of photos. One more thing, just hang on till the end of the video. I will be giving away something for free and that will make this overall workflow a much smoother, much easier. So hang on, let's jump into Lightroom and see how it goes. So the photo we are going to edit today is already imported to our Lightroom library. Now we are in the develop tab of the photo and we will go to the basic adjustment tab to do our basic adjustments. Let's start off with the color balance section where we have temperature and tint. This both sliders decides whether the photo will be on the warmer side or on the colder side and whether it will be on the greenish side or on the magenta side. So let's play up with temperature a bit. We will pull it up towards the warmer side a bit. We'll make just subtle changes in tint as well. We will come back later to this and do changes again once all our edit is done. So I want the photo to be on the darker side and the moody side, so I will pull the exposure bit down to somewhere around minus 0.30. Looks good, and we will leave the contrast for now. So the sky looks pretty much blown off here. If we pull the highlights down, it may get back some of the details, but at the same time it induces some halo to it. As let's keep it unchanged to somewhere like this. We can always come back here and do this necessary changes later. So let's pull up the shadows a bit so that the greens get more visible and also the blacks a bit much so that the legs are well exposed for now. And we are leaving the white sliders unchanged for now as well so that the same halo doesn't occur when we are pulling up the highlight slider as well. So now let's go to the presence tab. We don't have much to change here. We won't be touching this for now. Let's move on to the curves. And now when I say the word curves, it might freak out a lot of you. So I won't be making it as complicated as it is actually. I will make a whole different video on how curves work and the fundamentals and the basics of curves later. For now, I will be showing you how to create curves and use them to punch your photos up without having much knowledge about curves. So you might have heard about the S curve and any other different kind of curves. So today we are going to create S curves, and instead of creating it on the master channel and affecting the whole photo, we will move on to the every individual channels like red channel, green channels and blue channels, and introduce S curves into each one of them, and then we will come back to the master curve and then we will introduce another S curve to it to get the overall punch of the photo. So as we know that every photo is consisting of three colors, and every colors in the photo belongs to these three channels: R, G and B. R stands for red, G stands for green, and B stands for blue. So first let's start off by the R channel or the red channel. So let's click here to create a point over here, and click over here to create another point over here. Just pull the shadows a bit down towards the green and the highlights towards the red. Now let's move on to the green channel. Do the exact same thing, creating 2 points on the curve, pulling the shadows towards the magentas and the highlights towards the greens. And then again we move on to the blue channel. Do the exact same thing, create 2 points on the curve, pulling the shadows down towards the yellow and the highlights towards the blues. Now let's turn on the side-by-side comparison of before and after of this photo. Now you can see it looks much more punchy, it looks much more contrasty. At this point of time you may say that this is whole lot more punchy and contrasty, and this certainly doesn't look good. Now we will go to the master channel and we will introduce a similar S-curve to the same thing. We will pull the shadows down and pull the highlights up, and it creates a moody vibe to the greens already, but it still looks so garbage. But wait, let's play around with the HSL tab, correct our colors, and maybe, I don't know, whatever, it may look much better than what you would have thought like. And let's play around with every individual colors over here of this photo, and you never know, this may look magical. So let's pull the saturation of reds all the way down. We don't have much of red in this photo. Let's go to the orange. We will pull the saturation bit down. The rock looks garbage already, so yeah, that's good. Let's go to the yellow tab. We will pull the yellow towards orange a bit and then pull the saturation down. And now to the greens, we will remove the greens from the trees, and let's remove all other colors like aquas and blues. At the same time we will be removing purple and magentas from the photo as well. There's not much of them indeed in the photo, but yeah, let's just remove them. Now as the greens here look too much desaturated, we will introduce some kind of greens to the shadows through split toning. We will and want to be saturating it much, so we'll put the saturation to something around like 35 looks good. And now let's pull the shadows up towards the green of your choice. So I feel this looks much better. It's a moody dark green out there, and the whole photo got a moody vibe into it. Now we don't have much to do with the sharpening, as the photo is tags up all in focus. We don't have much of noise as this was shot in clear daylight, and so we won't touch the lens correction as well. We will go all the way down to the camera calibration sliders, and let's just induce some sort of greenish tones to the shadows by just pulling it a bit down. Won't do much of changes. Let's pull the red primary all the way up to add more punches to the rock, and we will pull the saturation up as well. Now when we talk about the green primary, we will pull the greens up toward the darkish side, but we'll pull the saturation all the way down so that it looks even more moody. And for blue primary we will do some subtle changes, just pulling the blues a bit down and saturation just on the lower side. Oh, that's pretty much it. So now let's go to the basic adjustment panel and expose the whole photo well. Now let's pull the shadows up a bit. Now the greens are well exposed. Let's pull the blacks down so the legs look well exposed, and at the same time let's pull the highlights down. Let's pull the whites down. and that's it. So that's how it already has turned your boarding photo to something dynamic and something moody, but you have orange punchy foreground, you have the whole greens in the middle as a subject or whatever, and you have the white blown out sky on the top on the far away, and that makes your photo kind of boring. You can always stop here and post it on your grams, but for me, I will be going a step ahead and add some color to the sky so that it looks a tad better. So I will be creating a graduated tint mask and pull it down from the top until our desired location. Let's pull it down a bit. Let's shrink it a bit and put it over here. What a graduated tint mask does is it selectively edit only this portion of the photo. Now let's go all the way down to the color tab and induce a color to this part. I will add some orange. We will play around with this, make the orange more vivid, and then we will come back and play around again to get the more visible colors. Let's play around with this and then go back to the colors tab and play around with our desired color then. Let's pull the temperature all the way up. Let's pull the clarity all the way down. Let's pull the dehaze all the way down. That removes all the oranges. So just pull it back again. No, that looks harsh. I won't be like that. Let's pull the texture all the way up. Let's pull the blacks down, and yeah, this looks much better. Let's pull the texture down again and dehaze it all the way down. So basically that's the before and after of what we started off and what we ended up like. The graduated tint filter added just a subtle amount of orange into it, but it was a hell lot of effect to me somehow, so I would go with this. And you know, the next step, you can just go to the file and export it as you like it. So that's it for today. So I just hope that I could teach you something, and as I committed earlier, there's some freebies for you. I have made a preset of the whole procedure right there and attached the link to the description right below. You can go download them, put it up on your photos, and just in case you want me to see them, you can definitely tag me on my Instagram handle. That's put in the description as well. So that's pretty much it for today. Let's wrap it up. So just in case you like this video, do put a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe to the channel if you are already into this kind of stuff like filmmaking, photography and photo editing or video editing kind of stuff. I put up tutorials whenever it's possible for me to, and yeah, I will be trying to be more consistent. So stay tuned and see you in the next video. Bye bye.